Hi North, welcome back. We are in week number 5, lesson number 1. Can you believe that? Week 5 already. This is fantastic. You're doing great. Okay, folks, I've taken you somewhere else this week. Where does it look like I have taken you? Any guesses? Any guesses? We are in the country of Australia. Yeah, we're going to Australia this week. And the very first thing that we are going to do this week is I am going to teach you an Australian folk song. This is a song that they teach all the kids in Australia. They all know it. A folk song is a song that's been sung for generations and generations. It's a part of basically your culture. So this song is called Kookuburra. Now, what Kookuburra? What is that? Kookuburra is actually a bird. It's an Australian bird. And this bird is great because its bird call sounds like it's laughing. Now, if you want to hear what a kookaburra sounds like, what you're going to do is you're going to go to my Bitmoji classroom page. You're going to see that there is a little picture of a bird there. Go ahead and click on that bird and it will show you a video of that little kookaburra laughing for you. So that's what this song is about. There are a couple other things you need to know what's going on in this song. They talk about a gum tree. When they say gum tree, unfortunately, they do not mean bubble gum. A gum tree is a type of tree that's in Australia and gum does not grow on it, unfortunately. And then the other thing that you need to know is what the bush is in Australia. When they say the bush in Australia, they're talking about kind of like the outback area, which is basically the country. It's just wilderness. There's no cities and there's not a lot of people that live out there. So when they say the bush, that's what they mean. Way out in the country, in the wilderness, okay? So here is how our Kookuburra song goes. Kookuburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookuburra, laugh. Kookuburra, fun your life must be. All right, that's the whole song that I'm gonna teach you. So me first, we'll do a line at a time. Me first, you second. Kookuburra sits in the old gum tree. Your turn. Kookuburra sits in the old gum tree. Good job, my turn. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Your turn. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. I'm gonna put those two together, me first. Kookuburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Try it. Kookuburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Nice. All right, next part. You're halfway done. Next part. Laugh, Kookuburra, laugh, Kookuburra. Try it. Laugh, Kookuburra, laugh, Kookuburra. Last part. Fun your life must be. Try it. Fun your life must be. All right, I'm gonna take those last two parts and put them together. Me first. Laugh, Kookuburra, laugh, Kookuburra, fun your life must be. Try it. Laugh, Kookuburra, laugh, Kookuburra, fun your life must be. I'm gonna sing the whole thing again. Me first, you second, and then you're done. Here we go. Kookuburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookuburra, laugh, Kookuburra, fun your life must be. Try it. Kookuburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookuburra, laugh, Kookuburra, fun your life must be. All right, good job. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Go ahead and practice that song this week because the next lesson that I have with you, we are going to do something special with that song. So get to know it so that we can use it in the next lesson. Okay, moving on to our next thing. Have you ever had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day? Well, I hope not, but if you have, you're not alone. Most people have had a day like that, unfortunately. I hope today is not one of those days for you. But that might tell you what we're going to be doing next. But we're going to be reading a book called Alexander and the Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. But you know me, and you know we're not just going to read a book, we have to make it musical. So every time I say terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, you're gonna say it and clap it with me. Repeat after me. Terrible. Try it. Terrible. Easy, right? Yeah. My turn. Horrible. Your turn. Horrible. Good. I'm gonna put those two together. Me first. Terrible. Horrible. Try it. Terrible. Horrible. Good. Next part is no good. Your turn. No good. So you're gonna clap that. No good, right? Try it. No good. And then the next part, very bad. Your turn. Very bad. All right. And then this is the hardest part of all. This is what you have to do. Day. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Try it. Day. Okay. So I'm gonna put the second half of it together. Me first, you second. No good, very bad day. Try it. No good, very bad day. All right, now I'm gonna put the whole thing together. Me first, you second. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Try it. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Good job. So every time I say that in the book, can you clap that and say it with me? All right, I know I'm giving you a lot of jobs today, but I got one more job for you. There is a magic word in this book. The magic word is, what could it be? Australia! Yeah, we're doing Australia this week. So the magic word in this book is Australia. And every time I say the word Australia, I want you to take your hands and I want you to kind of make a drum roll on your lap like this. Okay? All right, here we go. Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day by Judith Viewers. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I am going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was gonna be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend, and that Albert Moyer was his next best friend, and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? Yep, it was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. "Come back next week and I'll fix it," said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, "I'm going to Australia." On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then, when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came down with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes, but then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out." They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said, "Don't fool around with this phone," but I think I called Australia. My dad said, "Please don't pick him up anymore." It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. Ugh. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes, and my marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. The end. All right, well, I bet you did a great job keeping up with all those words and rhythms. So let me show you what we were doing. So this should look a little bit familiar to you, right? First of all, let's do a little reviewing. Ooh, remember all these lines and spaces? We have 5 lines and 4 spaces here. What do we call that? It starts with the letter S. If you remember that that's called a staff, bravo, great job. Okay, next question. Do you see all these black lines going up and down? What are those called? Starts with the letter B. If you said bar lines, bravo, that is wonderful. Okay, next, let's talk about some of these rhythms that we're doing here. So, if we use tas and titis for this, this is terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. We'll get to this stuff over here in a second. But let's just do this with tas and titis, okay? So remember, these are our titis and these are our tas. Let's try it. Ready? And here we go. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, ta-ta, ti-ti-ta, ta. Now, we know that real-life grown-up musicians, though, they don't use tas and titis anymore, do they? No, they actually count the music. What do we always start with? What number? What makes the most sense? 1, of course. So remember, with these, our titis, or 8th notes, you have to add the word "and" with it. So this is 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And now we've got a bar line here. What does that tell us? So it tells us to start back over with 1. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Uh-oh, another bar line. What does that tell us? Start back over with 1. Okay, now let's talk about this stuff over here. This one should look familiar to you. That's our quarter rest, the one that I say it looks like Harry Potter's scar. Right, that's worth 1 beat, right? But what is this thing that looks like a hat? That is a half rest. It is also a rest, but instead of 1 beat, it actually gets 2 beats of rest. So how are we gonna count this measure? You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. We just know that on beats 2, 3, and 4, it's silent. There's no sound, okay? So if we were to count this whole thing, it would go 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that one more time. Here we go, ready? And here we go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, the words are terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. How are we doing out there? I bet you're doing great. I'm so proud of you guys. Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. One more thing we're gonna do today. We're gonna go over that Kookaburra song one more time just to make sure that you remember it so that we can do our special thing with it the next lesson. So it starts with the Kookaburra word. Ready? Here we go. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh. Kookaburra fun your life must be. All right, good. So again, if you want to find out what a Kookaburra laugh sounds like, go ahead and go back to that Bitmoji classroom of mine. Click on the little Kookaburra bird and it will laugh for you. And also, since we're studying Australia this week, on the wall in my classroom, you'll see a map. And go ahead and click on that, and that has a little video for you about Australia, some fun facts, some animals, things like that. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for visiting with me, guys. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time. I will see you next time. Bye.